Hi, I'm Brandon, and I'm back to do another tier list movie series ranking video. This time I'm doing the Ghostbusters series. Ghostbusters is a beloved series, as I think a lot of people would agree, especially the early ones. And by early ones, I mean the first two. And, well, we'll get into my thoughts on the later ones right now. I don't think there's going to be anyone who's going to argue that the first one is the best. It's a classic movie, it is so well done, especially people that were alive during that era. I think we all miss those movies and the kind of movies they did. I know it's almost a cliche. They say they don't make things like this anymore, but they just don't. Like, it's just such a well done movie that they can just never recapture that magic anymore. And I think even people who weren't alive during that time probably also miss it. It's just such a great movie, and it led to led to the sequels, but it led to the animated series, which was also really cool. It's just I liked it when it was it was more simple. Just three college guys start this business of catching ghosts and it takes off. Like it was just so well done. It was funny without trying to be funny. Like it wasn't goofy. It was just like it was smart. It was funny. It was entertaining. It was things you'd never seen before. And you had like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Slimer, like everything they had in it was just so cool and revolutionary. You never seen things like that before. And to this day, I mean, we've seen many, many horror movies. We've seen all kinds of monsters and everything, and just things like Slimer and the Marshmallow Man. Like you just don't really see that kind of originality anymore. So if you can't tell, I really, really love that movie. Not necessarily going to go in order here. Let's maybe just start with one of the newer ones, Afterlife. I'm probably going to put it here in third spot, kind of right around the middle. It was honestly better than I was expecting. After the travesty that was the 2015 remake, I was expecting this to suck. And it didn't. It was nowhere near as good as the original, obviously, but it was kind of cool. It had new things in it. Especially this day and age, it's hard to have anything completely original because we've just seen so much, and computer graphics like CGI can just do so many things that we've seen a million movies, right? It's hard to be original, but it was pretty decent. And at first I hated the idea that there was like kids involved because I like it better when it's adults, like just some college guys like the first movie. But they did fairly well, and they did the thing that wasn't necessary. Like it was nice to see our old friends again from the first movie, even though they're quite old now. It was okay. It's obviously just like nostalgia bait, and they want to bring back fans of the original movie basically by reminding us of a much better movie in a much better time. But they're like, hey, if you're fans of the original, come back and see your favorite characters again. Even though they play a very small part in it, and the rest of the movies with a whole bunch of new characters, but they're just trying to bring in a bigger audience, and you can understand why they would do that. But they can't really pull the wool over our eyes and trick us into thinking that this is just going to be another Ghostbusters movie with the original guys in it. It's not. It's a whole new cast. But that being said, it was pretty decent. However, I watched it the first time and I liked it. I'm probably not going to watch it again. Like the original one and even the first two, I watch them on a regular basis. They're just so good. There's just something about the newer ones. I just it was well done. It was pretty good, but it doesn't have a lot of rewatch value. Maybe other people like it better than I do. I'm not sure. Let me know if you disagree, but it was still pretty good. Let's go Ghostbusters 2. It goes in the second spot. There's a lot of hate for this movie, and I don't understand why. I bet you there's some people that might even put it lower than Afterlife. I would not be surprised if there was a few people that thought that. It's not as good as the first, but I think it's close. I don't get why people really, really dislike it, even on on social media or whatever, TV shows and stuff. It's the punchline of a lot of jokes. Like they just make fun of how shitty it is compared to the original, and I don't think that's the case. It's actually really good. It's entertaining. I like the Vigo, the Carpathian, and the guy in the painting and all that. Like they're just interesting. The River of Slime. It just has a lot of cool stuff in it. So I think it deserves more respect than it gets. And I get that they got a bit funny with it. Like they made it a little bit more lowbrow, goofy, more juvenile kind of humor than the first one. It wasn't quite as smart. But just for such a good entertaining movie, I think you can overlook that just because it's pretty damn cool. So I like that one. Now let's go with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'm gonna put that in the fourth spot. It wasn't that good. I was disappointed, and I thought, given the name Frozen Empire and the poster that shows some kind of ice type motif to it, I figured that it was going to be about New York City or the country or the planet or something being covered in ice. But that was only like the very climax of the movie. It was like the last 10 minutes. The rest of the movie was something completely different. And I think they just went off in too many directions. Like I saw it very recently and I can still barely remember it. There was just nothing that memorable about it. And there was the Egon's daughter, the young girl, and it was like befriended a ghost and stuff. Like there was all these side plots. It was just kind of, it was very slow and I don't know. It wasn't memorable. Like it looked good. You could tell they spent a lot of money on it, put a lot of time into it. It just wasn't that memorable. And like the first movie was just one cool scene after another. Like every scene was just well done and it led to something else that was even cooler and everything was just like funny and amusing. And now there's just kind of long scenes that bored me and I didn't know where the story was going and I wish they would just like pick it up a little bit and it wasn't I was just not happy with it. I wouldn't hate it. It was kind of right down the middle of the road. If there's people out there fans of it, let me know because like maybe I unfairly judged it. Maybe if I watched it again, I could get more out of it, but I don't think so. And that leaves us with this piece of trash, which is the 2015 remake. And if you notice, I even left an open spot here because I think it deserves to be lower than this empty spot. I think that no movie is better. I think movies not existing would be better than having to sit through this thing again. And to be honest, I didn't sit through the whole thing. I probably gave up like halfway through at the most. I hated it. And no, it's not because of the female cast. That's ridiculous. That's what everyone, if you hate this movie, you get accused of, just not liking the female cast. That's fine. I've made movies with female leads. I love movies with female leads if they're good. This one was not. And even some of these women in there, I think they're kind of funny. Like on Saturday Night Live, whatever they're from, other movies, they can be funny. It says this movie was terrible. It's a particular kind of humor. It has to be intelligent and smart. It can't just be ridiculous and stupid and just throwing jokes in there. It seems like the characters in the movie have to be taking it like seriously. They can't know they're in a comedy movie. And it seems like in this one, like the jokes were just so bad and everything was so stupid. They weren't acting like real people. They were just like, it was like they were doing a skit or something that lasted for 2 hours. It was like, I hated every second of it. And I went in, like I heard bad reviews, but I heard, a few people saying that it was good. So I went in giving it a chance. And I read all the Ghostbusters comic books that the IDW was putting out. I was, I've always been big into the Ghostbusters lore. And I was willing to give it a chance, and it really, really disappointed me. And I've had people say that I should just watch the whole thing and give it a chance. But the number of people I found that like this movie, I think like I've met 3 possibly. I think it's pretty universally hated. So just the thought of having to sit through it again to reevaluate, I just would rather not. I just really don't like it. So that's how I rank the Ghostbusters movies. Let me know if you think I'm right or wrong or how you would rank them. And thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.